Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Hassan Talks podcast. If you are new to the podcast, well, basically, this is a talk show hosted by myself, Hassan Al-Fadl. And so far, we have around 21 episodes. It's available on so many platforms. So if you use Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and even YouTube, then you can tune in and listen to all the episodes that I've uploaded so far, where we talk about the culture, society, stuff that concern us, the young generation, in this crazy year that we've been experiencing. So welcome to the podcast if you're a new listener, and if you're not, then you're familiar with the flow of the show. All right, myself, I'm black, I'm African, I'm Sudanese, but I live in Spain. And of course, always being a black outside Africa, then you're always the minority. You're not the majority at all. Then you're always learning how to adapt and fit in the new society. But at the same time, it's very important to find some sort of organization or community that represents you so you can feel home with these people. And of course, for my situation, I was always looking for some sort of black organization or African community in Spain. And luckily, there is this amazing community that's called CNAAE, which stands for Comunidad Negra Africana y Afro-descendiente en España, which translates to Black African and Afro-descendant community in Spain. Today, I have the absolute pleasure to have somebody who represents this society, represents this association. His name is Jesus, and I will let him introduce himself so we can go through this conversation. So, hello, Jesus.
Hello, brother Hassan. First of all, thank you for having me in your program. And I hope that this conversation can orientate people to know more about what is happening with the black community here in Spain. Well, as you say, my name is Jesus. Jesus in English, Jesus Karabala. My last name is from the west of Africa, basically what is now known as Nigeria and Cameroon, perhaps Senegal. Well, I have to go there to find out more about that.
Yeah.
Perhaps in Ghana. Well, I'm a member of the CNAAE. As you say, is a black movement, is a black organization that is trying to gather people in order to fight for our rights here in Spain, in Europe, and all around the globe, because our problem is basically the same all around the planet.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. We like as Black people or Africans, we share so many common problems wherever we go.
Right.
Either it's Europe, Spain, or Asia or North America. So the situation is very similar. Now, since you represent this amazing association or community, can you talk us a little bit or introduce this community to the people who are not familiar with it?
Well, the organization was created basically taking roots of what happened to our brother George Floyd in the United States. It's a well-known case, and some people decided to create this organization in order to recover what others have done before here in Spain, because what we are doing is nothing new. What we are doing is to continue the tradition of the fighting for civil rights, and also to develop a program in order to help people who have, for any kind of reason, let or abandon his places, his country. Like me, myself, and like most of the members of the group, that we are part of the black community that have been forced in some kind of way to abandon their places. That's the reason that why we are here. Basically, that's the main purposes of Senai, is to organize ourselves and to study our history, to study about the problems in the society, and we are planning to get to be each one of us a like a person that can, you know, have like the tools enough to understand the political situation of the society.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a very good introduction. And I was actually lucky enough to have the opportunity to work with you guys when you guys started officially. And I remember it was the protest that you guys organized for Black Lives Matter
Yeah,
following what happened in the US. And I had the chance to work in organizing that amazing protest, which was emotional, I think, for most of us, and it made a huge impact here in Spain. So I think that says a lot that, yeah, we need this momentum, we need this force to keep going, never stop. So hopefully at some day people cannot, look at Black people differently, or like we can face less racism. I think it's difficult to face zero racism, but
yeah,
at least less than the usual. And Spain, of course, is no exception. It's like every other country. We always face problems wherever we go. I think that's sadly, that's very normal. Hopefully, it won't be normal in the future. I hope so.
yes. I also hope that in the near future we can, well, not eliminate racism, because that is a huge problem that is connected to capitalism, but we hope to reduce, racism in for example, in the school system, educational system, and also in workplaces. That racism is very concentrated in there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. Since you when you introduced the community or the association, you said also, it said in the official website of the organization, that you guys try to fight racism, and also try to represent the Black or African community in the political scene.
Uh-huh.
So how are you trying to do that here in Spain?
Well, uh, fortunately, we have some members of our group that knows a lot about politics in here. For example, our sister Basha Shangera, she is part of the, in Spain, they say concejalía, from near to Barcelona, I mean in Catalonia. And also we have the brother Jason and some other brothers that are very uh, connected with what is happening here with politics, and that will help us to get to know and to gather with other people, uh, well, from different parties. I am not a member of any political party in here. I mean, like PSOE or Unidas Podemos, but what we are trying to do is trying to do some kind of the alliance with those kind of people, in order to try to change some law in here. For example, the law related to migration, the law related to uh, refugee, because we are seeing in the present uh, this government that is basically controlled by PSOE, that is supposed to be a socialist party, uh, couldn't declare or didn't want to declare or abstain a law in order to that all people that are in here without documents could get their documents, because it's essential, it's important for any human being to have documents in the place that he or she is, in order to have social movement. So PSOE didn't want to assume this law, and that's a terrible thing, because a lot of people uh, will not the possibility to get, for example, medical cares or get a regular job, because without a document you cannot do basically
Anything.
nothing.
Yeah.
So it's impossible. That's the reason why we are organizing in a political way in order to transform that situation. That we know that is going to be hard, but any one of us, according to his expertises, we are helping to achieve it.
Yeah, I think that's very important, and I think, of course, if anybody who's in Europe in general or just in Spain will know the importance of having a document, official document, just to work. It doesn't matter how many certificates or masters or degrees you have. If you don't have the official paper, then you are nothing. And this is a big problem, of course, but of course it's one of the so many other problems. And I wanna ask you about one other problem that I think it's worrying me as a black person here in Spain, which is the rise of the extreme right parties in Spain. So right now we just talked about the socialists, but I think the main problem is not them. The main problem is the really racist social party, extreme right parties in Spain. So are you guys in this organization worried about them?
Yes, of course. We are worried about uh, these groups that are gathered in a political party. They call themselves as an alternative to organize the country, to organize the society, and the way they want to do it is to claiming for one only way to be a Spaniard.
Mm.
And the only way for them to be a Spaniard is to be Christian, to belong to Christianity faith, and also they don't want black people, because some of them has said it publicly, openly, that Spain is only white, that they don't want
Yeah.
black people in here, they don't want Muslim people, and that's terrible, because this political party that is called Vox, they are speaking openly against migrants people. They are speaking openly. They are criminalizing those people using categories like MENA, like
Yeah.
invaders, like stealers, drug dealers, and all of those languages that create hate in the society and increase racism. And it's sad because they have around 3 millions of followers. And the problem is that the so-called parties from the left have been kind of silenced toward this group. I think the parties supposed to be from the left should be against openly those parties like Vox and others that are in Europe. So it's so sad sometimes to see the party supposed to be uh, uh, I mean supposed to be for a better society are kind of silence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's either they're silent or they're very soft on them. So they use like politically correct words. They don't really attack them. But
Yeah,
I mean, that's the way they do with it. I remember in the Black Lives Matter protest here in Madrid, my task or my job was actually making sure like these people, these racist, fascist, extreme right people, are not attacking the protest. So because if you remember, like the protest was organized in a very sensitive area of Madrid,
yeah,
and they usually live in that place. So I remember me and the team I was working with, we were supposed to like to go in the small streets, check if there are people of this party are trying to do something bad to the protest. And actually, to be honest, we have found some of them, but because the numbers of the protests were so big and so huge and people were so loud, these people couldn't do anything. So I think that's also another way to fight these people is by being strong and being very vocal and being very clear that it's our right to stay here, and as long as we're not creating problems, we're actually helping the society, we're helping the country, and we're not asking for crazy stuff. We're asking for normal basic human rights, you know.
Uh-huh.
That should be the way. But I don't know, this rise of this extreme fascist or extreme right people, it's right party is not just in Spain, it's all over Europe, and also the US as well. You know, with what happened with Trump in the last 4 years, it was similar. You know, he was very vocal, very clear about how he hates immigrants, and it's crazy. It's crazy times we are living in right now. Crazy. Yeah. Okay. So I will move to the next question,
Okay.
which is the African community here in Spain. How do you try to help them when it comes to immigration? Do you have like objectives how to help the immigrants coming from Africa here in Spain? Do you have programs? Do you have some sort of any sort of help?
Yes, yes, of course. Like I said before, we are organizing ourselves in order to create programs and objectives to make for our brothers and sisters, and also for ourselves, a like a better staying in here, a better living. It's important to know that Black people are not new here in Spain. We have known for studies, oral and also scientific studies that prove that Black people were here before white people. So Black people were the first to be here in this continent that is now known as Europe. And that's important to know, right? Because it happens to be that everywhere Black people go, it should be treated like a nobody, like one who just appeared, right? And we have a program, as I said before, to try to change the some law, basically those laws that are affecting us in the way that, as we were talking, we don't have documents. Many people don't have documents, so it's impossible to make the so-called social movement, because when you don't have papers, when you don't have documents, you are treated as illegal, and we know for sure that any human being can be treated as illegal.
Yeah.
And also uh, we are going to create a program with some brothers and sisters in here to organize a project of alphabetization, say, to help, to try to our brothers and sisters get to know the Spanish language, because many of our brothers and sisters are coming from places that they speak English, some of them French, some of them Arabic, but they don't know much about Spanish. So that is something essential to maintaining here, because once you know the language, you can interact, you can, have like from your own weapon to uh, to front or to face uh, the daily situations. That is very important for us to teach our brothers and sisters to handle this language, and that is two of the major uh, projects we have. We also are every day connecting to many brothers and sisters here in Spain and all around the globe, to know what is happening in order to establish connections with people that can help us to solve some problems. For example, when our brothers and sisters were having problem here in Lepe,
Yeah, I remember that one. That was very,
you
very
know,
big problem. Yeah.
yeah, our sister Vivian, she and other brother made a video, a very good video. I mean, like was it was a video very sensitive that help us to understand the situation a lot more better in here, in there, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's an amazing work what you guys are doing. And one of the things that I love about you, and I want to talk a little bit, is
Yeah.
I know you are based in Madrid as well, right?
Yep.
So what I know about you guys is like you have this organization in a lot of the cities in Spain, right?
Yep.
So can you tell us about how many cities, and can you name the cities in Spain that has this organization based?
Well, we are in, like you say, here in Madrid, in Barcelona. We are in Granada. We are up in Bilbao. We are in Canaria, Islas Canarias. We are basically all around Spain. We are in, I guess, Zaragoza. Um, well, I forgot some cities, but we are all around the country. And also, there's a sister that is in Brussels, a brother that is in London. I guess I guess in other places, but I don't remember right now. But we are trying to gather. Uh, Even we have some brothers in Colombia also, brothers and sisters, and I think in the United States. So, like I said before, our problem is basically the same all around the globe. We have like issues in common. That's why we understand this problem as a global problem, even though there are some differences according to every country. But basically, the problem is the same all around the globe, and we have to take this problem as global, because we are attacking for being black. Basically, sometimes it doesn't matter if you are Muslim, Christian, Jew, Yoruba, whatever. Racist people just see a black person and they are going to attack you because you are black.
Yeah, yeah. I think the problem of racism that's happening in so many places, and like black people are being, for example, in the U.S., killed by cold blood by the police, just being black. Like they don't talk with them, they don't treat them like anybody else. So I wanna know, how do you guys in this organization, how do you fight racism in Spain?
Well, uh, we
Of
fight
course, you,
race.
of course, you had your amazing protest in June, but after that, do you have like other projects?
Yeah, we have, yeah, we have projects. Plus that I mentioned about the political like organization in order to gather with people from the governments in order to change law. We have also projects of, uh, first of all, like teaching ourselves. I mean, like self education that we've been doing for a long time by our arms and in groups that we were before. But that like I don't know how 8 months ago we have our first meeting. I mean, national meeting was wonderful because it was something that let us know each other more, even though many of us don't know each other physically. But that is one of the projects we have, to get to be part of educational programs with governments in order to be part of projects in the school, from elementary school, that is called right here primaria, and also high school, because racism is taught in the families, but also is taught in the school system. And we believe that uh, being in the school with a program of anti-racism would create another view of what is happening, because racism have no scientific ground. So we want to attack the problem from the roots. And we believe that an educational program will help to fight racism, because young people know about racism and become racist because they are taught to be racist. So what we want is to taught not to be racist and to get to know each other, because most people speak about Africa in a way that Africa is a dangerous place, is full of
Yeah.
sickness, terrorist people, and we want to teach people that Africa is more than that. So education is very important in our project.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Of course, the first important step is to educate ourselves,
Of
and
course.
of course, like we, since it is a community, so people get to know each other who are working in this community, and after that, educating others, that the people around us, people in this country, or in the schools or the political scene, that Africa is bigger than just what they imagine in their heads. These dangerous people or these drug dealers, which is, it's like, one person out of 100 Africans make a problem or make a mistake, then the rest are judged based on that, and that's always the case. That's always the case. And I hope we try to be the good example and tell people, no, like, this is not fair if you do something like this. And Africa is a rich continent full of cultures and traditions and languages and dances and food. It's so interesting, and it's so unfair and bad that you just limited to this small
Uh-huh.
image that you have it in your head. These people have it in their head. It's really, really terrible, and it shows how ignorant, of course, and lack of education these people have. And it is, I think, of course, this year with the protest against Black Lives Matter, it's a good chance for us Black people to represent ourselves better, for others to learn more about Black people, and for the racists to to stop being racist, and also, like, get educated. So there's so much happening, and hopefully we can be the change we want to see in this world. Hopefully.
Yes, yes, because as we know, I mean, African people and African from the diaspora, we are starting to learn about Africa. We know right now that Africa is the cradle of civilization, right?
Yeah.
According to Cheikh Anta Diop and other greatest scholars and historians. And we know right now that Africa is also the cradle of science. But many people here don't know that. And the few people that knows that, they try to hide it. So when we have the opportunity to be part of the school system, and we started to teach about what is Africa in science, political stakes, and all of those stuff that right now uh, can put a society over other. I think that the situation will be different, and that's the reason why racist people don't want that people get educated. They want people like being in the dark, like in the darkness.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they are, I mean, winning.
Yeah, of course, like, this image has to change, and it changes by education, changes by being better. Of course, we be better people, and we represent ourselves even better, and we show this beautiful image, the colorful dresses we wear, or the amazing songs and music we have, and the tasteful food, and this also energy, also the African energy. It's very, very special, and I couldn't
Yes,
find it anywhere. You're always very happy, always very energetic, always in the mood. This is something, not so many people also notice. Sadly, they just, when they see you as person, they think, oh, he's gonna steal something from me, or he's gonna do this to me. But they don't see the other perfect, amazing example of how energetic and you're always in a good mood and good vibe. And, it's quite sad, to be honest, but I'm here for this change. You know, change this image and adapt to the societies we move in. Like, of course, this is the message to for me right now. This is a message to any black person who's listening to this podcast. When you're moving to a new country, it's very important, of course, to find a community or society that looks like you and represents you. But it's also very important to adapt in that society, so you don't isolate yourself completely from that society that you went to or that
Mhm.
country. So you have to adapt to that and be the good image. So because the problem is, like, when you, let's say, you move to for example, you move to the United States, you just hang out and you go out with the people who look like you eat with people who look like you, and you don't do anything with anybody else. Then that's one of the problems, that people don't know anything about us because we keep ourselves sometimes in very closed spaces. We don't go out much, and I don't know, we are afraid of them, sometimes afraid of white people. But if we meet them and we talk with them and we show them how normal we are, how easygoing we are, maybe that changes the image they have in their head of us, you know. So
Yes.
there's a lot of work to be done, and of course, everything has to start at some point. So I believe this year, despite the terrible pandemic we're having, I believe the war against racism has officially started, and hopefully it will end in a very nice way for all of us. All right, I think we've covered so many questions in this amazing, interesting conversation with you, Jesus Karabali. So, do you have anything else to add? Any message to anybody who's listening to this, either in Spain or outside Spain?
Yes. I think that it's very important that all people from Africa and the diaspora get together. But like you said, but not also among us. We need to have other, I mean, partners with other people from other communities. Me myself, I'm coming from Colombia, from the Pacific coast. That is like the Africa in Colombia. But I know that I have to get together with my people, but I know that I have to get together with other people in order to create a huge movement, you know, a huge movement that can fight against racism and all forms of segregation, or all forms of oppression, right? I think it's very important for us. And again, thank you for having me in this program, and I hope the that this conversation can be listened from people in the continent or in other places.
The pleasure is mine, Jesus. I'm so happy that you accepted my invitation on behalf of this amazing organization or association, that's CNAAE. And yeah, this is basically this episode of Hassan Talks podcast, where we try to tackle more topics, to talk about stuff that's sometimes uncomfortable, but they're really necessary to be talked about. And this is the whole purpose of the podcast. So yeah, guys, we have reached the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned how the Black community here in Spain lives and adapts and integrates with others. Of course, there's always the issues and problems, and there's also, of course, the beautiful life and amazing country that is Spain. So that's life. It's never perfect. It's the balance between, you know, the good and bad, and the evil and the good all the time. So hope you enjoyed the episode. Please share it with your friends, with your loved ones, if you like it. And please also find all the information regarding this amazing organization. I will leave the description in the description box, all the links for CNAAE. Check what they stand for, check their goals and objectives and vision and mission, because they're an amazing organization. And I'm proud to have them on the podcast, and hopefully we can collaborate even more in the future. So tune in for the next episode. This is Hassan Talks podcast. Peace out.